What's a secret you'd never tell anyone, but would drop anonymously on Reddit? Sometimes when I'm home alone, I slip into my wedding dress, but not just to feel like a Disney princess. There's something thrilling about the way the fabric hugs my body, the way it makes me feel both innocent and daring at the same time. I'll pour myself a bowl of cereal, but instead of eating it at the table, I'll let the milk drip down my chin, imagining how scandalous it would be if someone walked in and saw me like this, and vacuuming? Oh, that's when the real fun begins. I'll let the vibrations of the handle tease me as I clean, pretending I'm not secretly enjoying the way it feels against my skin. The dress swishes around me, and I can't help but wonder what it would be like to have someone watching me, knowing exactly what I'm up to. It's not just stress relief, it's a little secret game I play with myself, a way to feel sexy and rebellious in the most unexpected way. Who knew chores could feel so naughty? I worked for a place, man and wife owners, family friends. Every Christmas she would pass out bonuses and tell us the story of how when she was in need, someone helped her. Her previous husband was emotional and verbally abusive. This was back in the 60s and 70s. Not something taken as serious as it is today by law enforcement. So she filed for divorce and left with her young child. She didn't have a work history, so she couldn't get a well-paying job. My mother and friends took up a collection and gave her enough money to survive and feed her kids. They never told her who gave them money. My mother swore me to secrecy. I still work with the woman's daughter to this day. My mother has passed. But the other woman is still alive. I'm not saying a thing until after. But it took all my strength not to cry when she told her story every year, about how she got an anonymous gift that saved her. Wife and I are swingers and have a pretty wild sex life that I am sure would surprise most, to include that my wife is very much bisexual. We are just your average suburbanite millennial couple with kids that you see everywhere, and not the stereotypical fat old people swingers, again just average and unassuming. Halloween, we went to our annual Halloween party some friends of ours throws every year, and at around 11 p.m. we said our goodbyes as we had to get home to our babysitter. We actually had the entire night to ourselves, so in our dinosaur onesie costumes we went to a local sex club that had a Halloween costume party going on. Party was kind of a dud and ended up outside on the patio playing Jenga of all things with a guy and two women he had brought with him to the party. That led to the 5 us in the dungeon, where my wife and I introduced them to some soft BDSM and then got a room, and all 5 us fucked each other's brains out for about an hour, and then we never saw them again. Our highest count to date is 4 couples at once, or 8 people. Sometimes I feel like we are the meme of the smiling older couple offering to buy a young couple drinks. We have fun. I feel like I'm gonna be alone forever. I have an avoidant attachment style and have never been able to continue a relationship after one date. It's caused by my childhood trauma, and once a man starts to express serious feelings towards me, I disappear from their lives, not without telling them, because I feel really overwhelmed and lose control over myself and my freedom. But I crave for a relationship. I chat with so many different people online on some dating apps, add them on my Instagram, and the next day I block them because everyone is the same and I won't have a distance relationship. It has become a habit, and my brain is so fucking messed up from consuming information about different guys each day. I just want to meet someone IRL and be able to have a proper relationship with the trust, which is hard for them to get, cause this attachment is also based on the trust issues and hyper-independence. I always kept a secret emergency fund when I was married, just enough so that if things ever went tits up, I'd have the cash to pay for first/last month's rent and the security deposit on a new apartment and buy new stuff. In a fucked up turn of events, I ended up having to use that fund to pay for my husband's funeral while waiting on the life insurance to get sorted out. I am the eldest daughter of family of 8 children with our mom and dad. Back in my childhood I come at period where my mother was so masculine and my dad was absent. They didn't even know each other well. I feel like I was standing in middle of 2 lines. I need to follow one of them to reach the safe and the love I needed as child, but unfortunately, I tried both at that time and I couldn't find what I need, despite everyone telling me now I was the luck and the center of the attention when I was young. That attention that make many people whenever they come over call my name, is from the people and strangers that comes home as relatives, and show me care that I couldn't find beside my parents. But unfortunately that attention of the strangers didn't come for free, where I was harassed in the age of 10 and couldn't tell anyone about it, since I couldn't even recall someone I can trust. 11 years later, I see my parents lovely and learn how to raise my other siblings. I feel something deep that couldn't forget them for couldn't love me the way they do with my siblings, and also other childrens they meet, but now for some reason I'm not allowed to talk about the past. I knew they did what they could, but I guess it's true when said that inside everyone is broken child. Now I realize it when I see my other siblings argue and tell them what they want is because they believe that they will be still their parents after that. On my side, I never dare, cause deep down I am scared that this will bring back the past and lack of that belief as well. Right now, I act like the perfect daughter that they would dream of, but deep down still search for accepting me by them. Cause many conflicts in my life, I was depressed and have bad thoughts, but still want to live, but it's getting darker. Most of his injuries were a fractured orbital socket, broken collarbone, broken hand, ruptured testicle, dislocated knee, and more I can't remember. He was in the hospital for almost 4 months. I'd broken up with some of the most wonderful women only to end up in a miserable marriage. Maybe it's karma finally catching up. I hate myself for it. I tried to fix things, but we're fundamentally incompatible. I have anxious attachment, she's avoidant, and that's just the start. Our bedroom is practically dead, she only wants intimacy to have kids, but I'm avoiding it because bringing kids into this mess would be a disaster. Oh, and here's the kicker, she once tried to peg me. Yeah. That happened. I rushed into this marriage, and now I'm stuck figuring out the best way forward. God, if only I could tell those women how sorry I am. I didn't realize it at the time, but I was being groomed and sexually assaulted by a close family friend when I was in my teens, but I'm a guy and she was an attractive woman, so somehow that means I was lucky. When I was about 9, I went over to neighbor's house. I would usually go hang out with my adult neighbors because they would let me watch TV and give me snacks in exchange for helping them, with the intention of seeing if I could play with the foster puppies she had. Well, she wasn't there, but her door was unlocked and I just went in and played with the puppies. When I walked out of the house, she was coming down the driveway. There was a bunch of stuff in front of her door blocking it from view from the driveway. I just pretending like I had been waiting for a minute and we walked in and I got to play with the puppies again. At this point, I'm lying to everyone I know. I'm not really happy, in fact I'm completely bored and tired of all the BS that comes with living. I have no hope for my future, and I know my best days are behind me. I'm playing along and pretending that life is great and all is well. When my mom passes away, I will stay strong and present for my family that is left before vanishing. I already know where I'm going to go to end myself, as I am sure I will never be found. The plan is to announce and get excited about a road trip by myself to clear my head and have some me time. With the time I have left, I'm doing my best to be helpful and positive while sharing what I can in hopes it will be helpful to others, but in all honesty, I'm cashed out. I've been emotionally unavailable for so long that I honestly don't think I can have real feelings for anyone. It's been years since I've actually liked someone, even though I've been in plenty of relationships. I can be super affectionate, even feel overwhelmed by how deep my love seems in the moment, but as soon as they're out of sight, I barely think about them unless I'm bored or want sex, but I have also never met someone I truly liked or who felt right for me. I've dated people I wasn't even into, so I don't know if the problem is me or if I just haven't met the right person yet. I bought a ring for my girl. As soon as we move in together and get comfortable, I'm dropping on one knee, she completes me, and after spending a full month living together, I know we're gonna be fine. My life is hers. Edit. We've been dating a little over a year. We just vacationed and lived together for a month. Clarifying for my wording. I sometimes like to go for walks early in the morning, in revealing clothes. This morning I wore a thong and a jacket and took the doji off and just wore the jacket. Last week I wore a sweatshirt and tights, no bra, no underwear.